Hey you guys, this is Yolanda from Yology Holistic Wellness. I'm making this review about my opinion on Oracle and Tarot card decks. There are a lot of different places where you can buy your tarot decks: Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, small little metaphysical shops, boutiques, and stuff like that. When you are first starting out, or if you are already experienced, you know that when you buy a deck, it's important that you resonate with that deck, that you're able to understand it, and that it helps to build your intuition and actually help you with your readings with your clients or for personal use. So with that said, my video today is about dealing with certain wholesalers and retailers and stuff like that. So I do sell decks out of my studio, and I'm always looking for the ones that are going to be the most popular or original, that people might be interested in. And you know, with the way the economy is, I do always try to consider people's budget, you know, because everybody should have access to information and materials like this. And so when I came across a couple of wholesalers, and there are some retailers who are selling these too, they are cards that are probably about half the price of what you normally would pay for a deck. And so not knowing about these decks, I kind of like was interested in finding out like why were they so cheap, and if they were such a good brand, maybe I would be able to offer them and like actually sell them for half the price of what a normal deck usually consists of, like at Barnes and Nobles. Because we know when we go to Barnes and Nobles, a deck is usually about $25, sometimes to $39 a deck, which can be very pricey, you know, if you're on a fixed budget. So I just went ahead on a splurge and I ordered one deck, and to see what it was all about, because I wasn't sure. I had never heard of the wholesaler or anything like that. And so of course it was from overseas, and I did pay a small value for that. And when I received them, I was not quite happy with what I had received. And so I just bought these just to kind of see. It was like a spur of the moment deck. It's a regular tarot deck and all of that. The first thing when you open them, there's no book. So usually if they're half the price of what an original deck is, there's probably not no book. There's actually a QR at the bottom. You scan that and it pulls up the manual for you, which is all online. You know how QRs work and stuff like that. The second is that they're pretty pocket size. They're like half the size of a regular tarot. This is a real tarot deck. So if you can see the size, the pictures are kind of small, the words are smaller, they're not really legible, and things like that. And so I kind of was like taken aback, and I was like, I don't know about this. So I did some meditation on the cards, and I kind of, you know, came to the conclusion that, you know, readings are supposed to be used with certain energies that enhance your reading, not kind of, you know, lower the vibes a little bit. Is I'm trying to be polite, but basically my thoughts are, you know, a lot of artists put their time and effort. They're basically reprints is what they are. They're not the original print of the artist's true, you know, the artist's true deck. And so when I actually thought about it, it's like, it's almost kind of like devaluing that artist or that healer's artwork, the stuff that they've put into. You know, it's not the original energy that the deck holds, the vibrations that the deck holds. And so I kind of feel like that when you read with something like these, you're actually interfering with your reading. And so I don't feel like that they're very professional, in my opinion, because it lowers the vibrations. And so that's what this is sort of about. So, you know, the decks usually cost half the amount, or they're like really cheap. So, and another way you could tell is if there's a QR code at the bottom. Plus, if the deck is discontinued and you're collecting them, these hold no value at all because they're reprints. The original decks do because they're one of a kind. It's like paying for art. You're going to a museum, you see a Monet, and you want that piece instead of the copy. It's just gonna have more value. And when it's the original, it's gonna have more richness and texture within that piece. So when you're on the market for new cards, and Amazon sells a lot of these, they're reprints, and a lot of people don't know until they actually get them. So, because I've seen them also at like the Amazon discount stores. I don't know if you've been to those. That's where like wholesale, like people will order from Amazon and realize that they don't want it, so they send it back. So they wholesale it to these small discount shops, and they kind of sell them like way cheap, like maybe $2 or $3 at a fraction. So just be mindful when you buy your deck where you're getting it from. You know, make sure that you have a relationship with your retailer. And if you ever see these in a retail or a store shop, ask yourself, is it really worth the investment? Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Bye.